All right, you sent us some fascinating stuff on mercury.
Yeah.
It looks like we've got a real mix here.
Mm-hmm.
Encyclopedia entries, articles on its uses, even research papers on toxicity.
It's an interesting one.
It really is.
Ha.
So today, we're going
Mm.
to uncover why this element has captivated humans for so long,
Okay.
how it shows up in our daily lives,
Yay.
and what we need to know to navigate its dangers.
Well, we're talking about an element found in Egyptian tombs
Oh, wow.
dating back to 1500 BC.
1500 BC. That's incredible. It really puts into perspective how long humans have been interacting with mercury.
Yeah, and not always in safe ways.
Right.
The ancient Chinese used it in medicine and alchemy.
Oh, wow.
Even then, they were aware of its toxic nature, but believed its power outweighed the risks.
That reminds me of the story about China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huangdi.
Right.
He was obsessed with immortality and died from drinking a mercury elixir
Yeah.
that was supposed to grant him eternal life.
That's right. And ironically, his tomb is rumored to contain rivers of flowing mercury representing the rivers of China.
Wow, it's a potent example of the duality of mercury.
Yeah.
Its allure and its danger.
Absolutely.
It's almost like this element had a million different jobs throughout history.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The Romans, for example,
Oh,
used
yes.
mercury in cosmetics and for extracting gold.
Talk about a mixed bag of
Yeah.
applications.
Absolutely.
That's a good segue into our next point.
Yeah.
Let's unpack some of the surprising ways mercury has been used
Okay.
throughout history and even today.
Sure.
What stands out to you as particularly interesting?
Well, beyond its historical uses,
Okay.
mercury has played a crucial role in science and industry.
Mm-hmm.
Think thermometers, barometers,
Okay.
and even the production of chlorine.
Chlorine.
Yes,
That's one I wouldn't have guessed.
it's true.
Wow.
And while we might associate those uses with the past,
Yeah.
mercury is still used in some surprising places today.
Okay.
It's used in gold mining, although that comes with serious environmental risks.
Right.
And even as a coolant in experimental nuclear reactors.
Wow. Those examples really showcase the sheer range of mercury's applications.
Right.
But what about in our everyday lives?
Yeah,
Are there places we might encounter mercury without even realizing it?
you bet.
Really?
You've probably got mercury in your home right now.
Oh, wow.
Think fluorescent lights,
Mm-hmm.
old tilt switches and fire detectors, and even some dental fillings.
Speaking of things we probably shouldn't put in our mouths, it's even been used in mascara.
It's true.
Oh, my gosh.
Although, thankfully, that's much less common today.
Right.
And it really speaks to the fact that while mercury has valuable properties,
Yeah.
its toxicity is something we have to take very seriously.
This makes me think of that image of a man sitting on a pool of mercury.
Right.
It's dense enough to float on,
It is.
but as fascinating as that is,
Yeah.
it's certainly a potent visual reminder of the element's potential danger.
It's a great visual. Yeah.
Okay.
And it highlights a key insight about mercury.
Okay.
Its very properties that make it useful, like
Yeah.
its density and fluidity,
Mm.
also make it potentially harmful.
Okay.
This duality has shaped its history
Right.
and continues to pose challenges for us today.
So let's talk about that toxicity.
Okay.
You mentioned earlier that even the ancient Chinese knew mercury was toxic.
Right.
Most people today are aware that mercury is poisonous.
Yeah.
But I'd love for you to break down the specifics.
Sure.
What do we really need to know about mercury's impact on our health?
Of course.
Yeah.
The key here is understanding that not all mercury compounds are created equal.
Okay.
It's the organic mercury compounds,
Yeah.
like methylmercury,
Mm-hmm.
that are especially dangerous.
Why is that?
Yeah.
What makes organic mercury so much more concerning?
Because of a process called biomagnification.
Okay.
Mercury, in its organic form,
Right.
can build up in the food chain.
Mm.
Small organisms absorb it. Then bigger fish eat those smaller organisms and accumulate even more mercury,
Right.
and so on.
I see.
That means if you eat a lot of certain types of fish, like tuna
Yeah.
or swordfish,
Mm.
you could be ingesting a dangerous amount of mercury.
That's a scary thought, especially for people who enjoy eating seafood regularly.
It is a concern,
Right.
and it really underscores the importance of understanding how mercury moves through the environment
Yeah.
and how it can impact our health. And the consequences of mercury exposure can be severe.
Right.
It can manifest in a wide range of symptoms.
Oh, wow.
From tremors and mood swings to cognitive impairments and damage to vital organs,
Okay.
like the brain, kidneys, and lungs.
Those symptoms are definitely not something anyone wants to experience.
Right.
Is there a historical example that illustrates the dangers of mercury poisoning?
Absolutely.
Okay.
One of the most well-known and tragic cases is the Minamata disease outbreak in Japan.
I've heard of that,
Yeah.
but I'm not familiar with the details. Could you elaborate on what happened?
In the mid-20th century, a chemical factory in Minamata released wastewater contaminated with methylmercury into the bay.
Oh, wow.
This mercury contaminated the local seafood,
Right.
and as a result, thousands of people suffered severe mercury poisoning.
Wow.
It's a truly heartbreaking example of how industrial pollution and the biomagnification of mercury can have devastating impacts on human health.
That's a stark reminder of how serious mercury contamination can be.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder what steps are being taken to prevent something like that from happening again.
You're right to raise that question.
Okay.
The good news is that there's been significant progress in regulating mercury and phasing it out of various products.
That's good to hear. What kind of regulations are in place?
On a global scale,
Yeah.
there's the Minamata Convention,
Okay.
which aims to protect human health and the environment from the harmful effects of mercury. What's interesting about this treaty is that it takes a comprehensive life cycle approach.
I see.
It addresses everything,
Okay.
from mining practices and industrial emissions to the safe handling and disposal of mercury-containing products.
So it tackles the issue from multiple angles.
Exactly.
Okay, what about specific actions?
Sure.
Has the Minamata Convention led to concrete changes?
It certainly has.
Right.
For example, it sets strict limits on mercury emissions from coal-fired power plants,
Okay.
which are a major source of mercury pollution.
Right.
It also promotes the development and use of mercury-free alternatives in products like batteries and lighting.
Those are really practical, impactful changes.
Right.
What about here in the U.S. and Europe?
Yeah.
Are there specific regulations we should be aware of?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The EU has restricted mercury in a wide range of products,
Okay.
including thermometers, batteries, and certain types of light bulbs.
Mhm.
And in the US, we've seen similar efforts to phase out mercury in everyday products. You've probably noticed this. If you've tried to buy a mercury thermometer recently,
Yeah.
chances are you had to opt for a digital or alcohol-based thermometer instead.
Now that you mention it,
Yeah.
I have.
Mm.
I hadn't really connected that to mercury regulations.
Right.
So we've got international treaties,
Yeah.
national regulations,
Right.
and even changes in the types of products available to us.
Right.
It sounds like a lot is being done to address the issue of mercury.
Mm-hmm.
But what can we do as individuals?
Yeah.
Are there steps we can take in our daily lives to minimize our exposure to mercury and protect the environment?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's an important one
Yeah.
because even with all these regulations,
Mhm.
there are still sources of mercury in our homes and communities.
Right.
So being informed and taking proactive steps is key.
What kind of steps are we talking about?
First and foremost,
Yeah.
proper disposal of any mercury-containing products is crucial.
Okay.
This includes things like old thermometers, thermostats, and fluorescent light bulbs.
Right. It makes sense that simply throwing them in the trash could lead to mercury ending up in landfills and potentially contaminating our environment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Many municipalities have special collection programs or designated drop-off locations for hazardous waste.
Okay.
It's worth checking with your local waste management or recycling center to find out the proper procedures in your area.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
I'm going to look into that myself.
Good.
Are there other everyday actions we can take?
One of the most impactful things you can do is be mindful of your seafood consumption.
Okay.
We talked earlier about how mercury accumulates in fish.
Right, that biomagnification process.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
choosing fish that are lower in mercury is a smart move.
Right.
Smaller fish,
Mhm.
like sardines and anchovies,
Okay.
tend to have lower levels of mercury than larger predatory fish, like tuna or swordfish.
That's helpful to know.
Right.
Are there resources available to help people make informed choices about the types of fish they consume?
There are.
Okay.
The EPA and many local health departments publish advisories and guidelines on fish consumption.
Mm-hmm.
They often provide information on which fish are safer to eat,
Okay.
which ones to limit, and
Mhm.
recommended serving sizes,
Right.
especially for pregnant women and young children
Okay.
who are more vulnerable to the effects of mercury.
So checking those advisories is definitely a good idea.
Yeah,
It seems like a lot of this comes down to being informed.
you're right.
Mm.
Knowledge is power when it comes to making healthy and environmentally sound choices.
Right.
Understanding how mercury moves through the environment where it's found
Yeah.
and how it can affect our health. empowers us to make choices that protect ourselves and our planet.
This has been so insightful.
Good.
I feel like I'm starting to see mercury not just as this mysterious element, but as something that's woven into the fabric of our lives, our history, and our environment.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah. It's about seeing the bigger picture and recognizing that even seemingly small choices can have a ripple effect.
And speaking of the bigger picture, you mentioned earlier that as we move away from mercury, it's important to consider what's replacing it.
Exactly. We're phasing out mercury in many products, which is a positive step.
Yeah.
But we need to think critically about the alternatives.
Oh.
Are they truly safer?
Right.
What are the potential trade-offs in terms of functionality, cost, and environmental impact? These are questions we should be asking as consumers and citizens.
So it's not just about avoiding mercury. It's about being aware of the entire life cycle of the products we use and the materials they're made of.
Precisely.
Okay.
And it highlights the fact that there's always more to learn and consider.
Right.
We need to stay curious and informed about the materials we interact with every day.
Oh, yeah.
And advocate for solutions that prioritize both human health and environmental sustainability.
I love that.
Yeah.
Stay curious.
Yeah.
It's a great reminder that learning is a continuous process,
Right.
especially in a world where technology and materials are constantly evolving.
Well said. It seems like with mercury, there's always another layer to uncover, another question to ask.
Absolutely.
That's what makes this deep dive so fascinating.
It really speaks to the complexities we face when it comes to balancing innovation, human health, and environmental protection.
Yeah.
There are always going to be trade-offs, and it's our responsibility to weigh those carefully and advocate for solutions that prioritize long-term sustainability.
It sounds like what we're really talking about is informed decision-making.
Exactly.
We can't simply eliminate every potentially harmful substance or material, but we can educate ourselves about the risks, consider the alternatives, and make choices that align with our values.
I think that's a great takeaway from our deep dive into the world of mercury.
It's about empowering ourselves with knowledge so we can navigate the complexities of our modern world.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
We've covered so much ground today.
I have.
From mercury's ancient allure to its modern-day challenges. And I hope you're leaving this conversation feeling as informed and empowered as I do.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure diving into this topic with you.
And with you.
Yeah.
And that wraps up our deep dive into the fascinating and sometimes unsettling world of mercury.
Okay.
Hopefully you're walking away with a newfound appreciation for this complex element, as well as the knowledge to make informed choices about its presence in your life.
And remember,
Yes.
Stay curious.
Absolutely.
There's always more to learn and discover.
Until next time, keep those brains buzzing and stay curious.